By now, everybody has seen Israel at war. Hamas has invaded air, sea, and land. But this isn't Armageddon. This isn't Gog and Magog. This isn't the end. For all the Christians that know, Daniel has to happen, right? The 7-year peace treaty. In order to get that, things have to get pretty bad, right? That's what you are witnessing right now. We are still in the Great Reset, the New World Order. Their agenda hasn't been fulfilled yet, and their date is 2030. So what we are all witnessing is the destruction of Israel, just like the destruction of all the nations around the world. They need to topple regimes still, like North Korea, Russia, I don't have it on here, but Iran. They just need to topple their governments and switch them out. So they'll all be like China. Don't be fooled. China is part of the New World Order. They love the World Economic Forum. They love the beast, the 8th head, the United Nations. So once this falls apart, and it already is, and it's going to continue to get worse, and it's going to be headline news for a long time, Israel is going to be brought to its knees. And the one man that's going to come in and fix it is going to be him. Can't you guys see how it's playing out? You know the election is next year. He's possibly going to be Speaker of the House. You're watching WWF, which a lot of you don't remember, which is WWE. This is entertainment. They got everything played out. They are geniuses. They have every move mapped out. Just remember, the mark isn't even out yet, which means this kid can't be Armageddon and it can't be Gog and Magog. This, what we're witnessing, is still in the 4 horsemen, the 4 seals. The new system has to emerge so the mark of the beast can be released and implemented throughout the world. And believe it or not, by Israel getting attacked and them having a conflict there, that's going to open the door to all the countries in the Middle East, all around the world, all the allies of those countries, to come together to form this peace plan that is going to be made by this guy. I don't believe in Antichrist. Trump is not an Antichrist. There are many Antichrists. There isn't one Antichrist. He is just part of it too. Him and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who have been working secretly behind the scenes since he's been removed from office. But you mark my words, all the countries around the world have issues with immigrants, sleeper cells. We're witnessing it right now in America. When these people get the signal, they're going to wreak havoc across the world. The world has to be brought to its knees so they surrender to the United Nations. The dollar will have a collapse. There will be a food crisis, all deliberately being done. The leaders around the world will have no choice but to follow suit and go to the United Nations, which the headquarters is in New York City, which was created by the United States, which was funded by us Americans with our tax dollars. Just like NASA, we have funded the world security system. Unknowingly, the American citizens have funded the entire New World Order, and they're cashing in on it. They're making their moves. I bring this up a lot. It's like the game Risk. You got all your troops, your tanks, your horses. Are you going to make your roll to take the world over? And that's exactly what they are doing right now. They're fortifying, they are moving, and they are getting everything set up in position strategically to come in for the kill. But this Israel crisis incident has to happen in order for this man right here to come out with this peace plan and get the whole world to agree. So how long is it going to be before this peace plan is implemented? Because that's the clock. That is when it starts. When that peace plan starts, We all know that there's a great tribulation, which is the last 3.5 years. And that's when it is really going to be bad. There are going to be things that haven't been seen since the beginning of man. There will be tribulations that have never been seen. It's going to be the worst time in humanity. And it all happens in that last 3.5 years, which is going to be kicked off when he makes this deal. So if he becomes Speaker of the House 2024, and then an election takes place and he wins that, he'll be president in 2025, which means the end of his presidency would be 2029. So he has that much time to get that peace treaty signed, agreed upon with every nation in the world through the United Nations. But what we're seeing in Israel, it's not an isolated incident. It's going to be happening around the world. The world is going to feel unsafe. Their borders are unprotected. They are shipping and moving immigrants, which are sleeper cells, which are soldiers, throughout the world into countries to create havoc, to create lawlessness, because they need the whole world to fall so they can put the social scoring system, all these cameras that watch and monitor your body, your face, your voice, everything. And by that time, there will be drones in the air. There will be the satellites. They pay people to spy. You won't be able to do anything. And that's when the system, the mark, is going to come out. We are watching the birth of the mark. It isn't a metaphor. It isn't your hand. It isn't your head of thinking and writing and doing. It is actually going to be a chip in your hand. It doesn't say right hand. It says hand. Your head. Well, we already know Elon has got Neuralink. We already know that the chip for the hand, many companies are doing that now. We are going to have to choose between Jesus or taking that mark. You are going to have to choose between this world or Jesus. Are you willing to give up your husband, your wife, your daughter, your son, your mom, your dad, your grandparents, your aunt, your uncle, your cousins, your friends? Are you going to be able to be separate from civilization, living under a bridge? They are still going to come after you. You are going to lose your job, your house, your car, your assets, your banking account, all your money. Are you willing to give up this world and not denounce Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? Just remember, Israel doesn't believe in Jesus. They have to really go through it, which they're starting to. Technically, they're Antichrist. They do not believe in Jesus. And what does it say in our time during Revelation? You must go through who? The Son to get to the Father. He made it clear. If you don't come through me, you're not seeing my dad. You're not seeing the Father. Continue to pray for them. But this, unfortunately, has to happen in order for the next events, their next part of their agenda to come about. And Americans, you better get prepared, because it's happening here. You could see all the sleeper cells, all those soldiers crossing the borders. When you see 100 men in one area, another 100 in another area, without any women, no wives, no kids, they're all in the age between 20 to 40. They're all slender. You better be prepared, because how many sleeper cells does it take to take down a city, to create havoc, when you don't have a police force, when they're defunded on purpose? Everybody, every country is going to come to their knees. All the civilians, citizens are going to beg their governments. And when they know they can't do nothing, they're going to beg the world. They're going to beg the United Nations to come in and save them so they can feel safe and so they can have food on the table. And that's exactly what Satan wants. And when the ones that are marked and they're connected to the internet, they are going to be one with Satan. Remember, Satan can't connect to you with your soul. He's going to connect to you once you connect to the internet. Once you take that chip and you become a hybrid and it's running through your body and he's mimicking God connecting to you, you ain't coming back from that. You're getting thrown in a lake of fire. If you want your name in the book of life, do not take that mark. Love God more than your family. Love